Leadoff home run from Jose Altuve, because that's all he does. He hits leadoff home runs. And then you have the Astros setting a franchise record for wins in 125 games. And wait, was there anything else that happened tonight, Brett?
Let me think. There's this guy who is secretly one of the best pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. Got his 21st consecutive quality start, Eric. It was a beautiful thing. Framber Valdez, the juggernaut on the mound. When you don't have JV, look to your right. There's Framber Valdez. Let's talk about it tonight on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram, and at Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, especially when Framber's on the mound. Always Stros.
I know. It just feels like so comfortable just watching the game. It's like it's so opposite of what it used to be. It's just like you almost know it's a guaranteed win. You know, like going to YouTube, searching for Locked On Astros podcast, and then subscribing, giving us a like, and go ahead and listening to us on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Make us your first listen on your way to work. And so thank you guys for doing that. So, yeah, this game was a great game. And I know Abreu came in, pitched great after Framber Valdez, and Montero, he had to make it interesting. It's just kind of like Mitch Wild Thing Williams just comes in and just has to just make things wild. And so that's what our bullpen is nowadays. It's like, let's just make it a little crazy at the end, a little bit wild. So.
Oh, exactly. You know, and we will talk about this later, but Trey Mancini coming up big in this game. Without him coming up big, this is a different ball game, Eric. We may be going into extra innings, and you love to see that. You love to see him in the lineup. You love to see him in there contributing. But all around, this was a great game. It shows you what you have, and it shows you what you have left to desire, and it shows you where the Astros, and that's what we're going to tackle, the bullpen. And later on, second or third segment, you're going to hit on that. Who should be that person? People are already asking for call-ups in the first three comments on our show tonight. So
there's an injury in today's game. Yeah,
there is. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, golly, come on. Can we not get injured anymore? Can we just hold off on the injuries? But I don't know if we've heard about that. We'll try to get an update while we're on the show.
Oh, yeah. So definitely there's a lot to discuss, but let's go ahead and start off with Framber Valdez. This is something that you don't know going into a start a lot of times that somebody's about to achieve history, but that's what Framber Valdez did. And to pitch underneath that pressure, all the spotlight being under you, that's what he did today. And he pitched a great game, 7 shutout innings, and he looked like he was under total control. And sorry, I take that back. He did give up that run. I forgot. He did allow that walk, and then that walk did come around to score. I forgot about that. I guess I was just trying to eliminate that from my mind because I hate those leadoff walks, and then the leadoff walks always come back to score. But then again, if you're looking at it, overall, it was a great game. 1 run allowed, and he just looks like he's dominating overall. So it was 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks. The walks were a little bit high today, 8 strikeouts, but overall, his ERA on the season is 2.65. He's got 13 wins, 4 losses, and he got his 21st consecutive quality start, and he passed Mike Scott, and now he's amongst the likes of Johan Santana, doing it during the DH days, and also Eddie Shukut of the White Sox back in 1917. Chris Carpenter did it in 2005. He did it.
Right.
He had 22 games with the Cardinals. Then also Bob Gibson had 22 games in 1968, and then Jacob deGrom had 24 in 2018. So
Yeah,
this is a pretty
that's
good company. Yeah.
I would say this is elite company, and you love it with Framber Valdez. Like I mentioned, it's just because someone brought it up. They said it's dislocated. The doctor popped it back in place already. It's probably going to be a couple days. So that's one of our fans helping us
Yeah,
update
that's
on
what Dusty
Chas
said. Yeah.
McCormick. Yeah, and Dusty. And so here's the thing, Eric. Framber Valdez, another thing, lowest opponent slugging percentage this season. Guess who leads? Guess who's right in front of Framber Valdez?
Who?
Justin Verlander. 282 slugging percentage. Framber Valdez, 293. Then you got Goslin from LA, 296. And you got McClanahan, 298. And then Alcantara at 306. You literally have the top two pitchers. And Framber, I mean, look, we haven't talked about this, Eric. And let me ask you, is it unrealistic to think that Framber Valdez may actually get some votes in the Cy Young? I'm not saying he'd win it, but
Not first
is there a
place.
no, well, no, but
Right.
is there a chance though that his name's in the top 5 or the top 10 possibly of the Cy Young votes?
I think he'll get some third place votes. He may. I don't think he'll get second place votes. I don't think he'll get first or second place votes.
Okay,
I think he'll get some third place votes, but not first or second place votes. That's just my opinion, based on looking at what the other guys, Cease and McClanahan, have done this year, and Verlander. And Verlander is going to get
exactly.
a lot of first place votes because of what he's done coming off of Tommy John surgery. I think that's going to they're going to take that consideration a lot. So I don't think that you're going to see Valdez unless he just continues this dominance that you've seen and he gets his ERA way down below everybody else suddenly. Then I just don't see that happening. But he could get some third place votes. He may get some fourth place votes, but
No,
I
you're
don't
right.
see.
And
Yeah,
no, and when I say that, that is exactly what I'm talking about. But literally, I mean, 21 consecutive quality starts. And, Blummer and TK were discussing it on the show, and they were like, in a day where pitchers don't go as long as they used to. I mean, even when DeGrom did it back in 2018, it was a
right.
big freaking deal. And he has, I don't know if he can now. My question is quality starts consecutive. I guess if that's regular season, let's say regular season ends and he doesn't get to the record or he ties it. If he has a quality start when he comes out in the next season, does that continue that streak?
Well, DeGrom actually had 26, I believe, continued from the this next season, I believe. So,
So that's
so
in
it's
one season.
24
20.
is in one season.
Okay.
Yes. And then
Okay.
he had 26 consecutive in
Okay.
2 seasons. So,
Okay, so he would have to get to that 24 or 25
yes.
this season to break that record. All right, I just wasn't sure how that works. I know sometimes records cross over or go from season to season, but we're talking a singular season. But man, what great company. I mean, Framber Valdez. And I just love to bring this up because in 2019, I still go back to the day when he was down in Round Rock working on his stuff, and he looked really bad on the mound. He was nervous. He had no confidence. The baseball was flying all over outside of the zone, walking 6, 7, 8 batters, giving up 3 or 4 runs. And for him to go through that and be here 3 years later, Eric, is astounding and is a testament to the Astros pitching development department.
Yeah, also to him, it shows that like Mike Trout always raved as to how much talent he has, and he didn't give up. He didn't say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and quit baseball. I'm just gonna go and leave. He just kept on saying, you know what, I have the stuff to keep on going, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. And he's showing that he is an ace the Astros can have in case. Let's say Verlander leaves next year, and then McCullers. We'll see how healthy he can stay. McCullers will likely be the ace, but Valdez, he has to have a word because he's pitching like the ace right now, and you have 2 aces. And now just imagine if McCullers can really shape up like and pitch more like he did in his first start. Just imagine that 3-headed beast in the playoffs, and then add in how good. I'm going to tell you some stats in a little bit. How good Jose Urquidy has pitched in the last 11 games, and add him as the 4th pitcher in the playoff rotation. The Astros are going to be dangerous for any playoff team.
Exactly. And, Alex Bregman doing it again tonight, not having to feel like he has to do too much. Getting a sack fly, bringing in Yordan Alvarez was huge. And I mean, like you said, Jose Altuve, someone did mention, why does Jose Altuve keep getting caught on the bases? Look, I know Jose Altuve is fast. I don't think he's as fast as he used to be. And I really think that he's got so much heart and hustle.
Right.
That's his makeup, that he doesn't think like he doesn't think he's going to get thrown out. Like he's like, I'm going to go for it. And that is a high risk, high reward situation. You just hope that something like that doesn't bite you in the rear end in a 3-2 game in the playoffs. I don't mind in the regular season, but it's kind of become a habit, and it makes me a little nervous. But you know what doesn't make me nervous is when I know I don't have a ticket to the game, or maybe something's going on where I can't watch the Astros game on TV. I call up Eric and I say, hey, bro, let's go to Hooters NASA. That's right. They are located at 20796 off the Gulf Freeway, just south of the Baybrook Mall. They're in the NASA Valley Shopping Center. Let me tell you what makes this place great. Their wings are the best wings. I mean, I tried wings at other locations. Other restaurants. Like, I'm not even going to say their name because I'm not into that. I'm into promoting the business of Hooters NASA. 15 plus sauces. They've got 5 dry rubs along with ice cold beer and the world famous Hooters girls. When you go there, ask for Rosie, see if she's there. Ask her why she wears black socks. She's been doing it since October 26, 2005. Also, sign up for the October 2nd bus trip from Hooters to the Astros game to Minute Maid. You get fed, you get drinks, you get the game ticket. On the way back, they feed you dinner. You're back home safe. It's going to be an amazing time. Check it out. If you go there, try Eric's favorite 3 Mile Island hot wing sauce. I like the maple chipotle. So many different flavors. It's not maple chipotle. It's honey chipotle, but it tastes like maple and it's really good. So check that out. The world famous Hooters girls will give you the best service. You can watch UFC. You can watch any sport you want. When the Astros are alive, they will pipe the sound straight through the speakers so you can hear every hit, hear every call by TK and Blummer. So check us out and come hang out with us sometime. 20796 Gulf Freeway. And if you mention Locked On Astros, you get a free basket of fried pickles with your meal. So check it out today.
Alrighty. So I know a lot of people are like, well, Montero almost blew the game today. The bullpen has been very, very, very shaky lately. And I know a lot of people were asking us on Twitter today, well, do you think that the fact that the bullpen is kind of shaky recently, looks a little bit worn down, is that the only reason why the Astros are going to a 5-man rotation? No. I think also the fact that there's a lot of off days coming up pretty soon, and it's hard to keep them on regular rest when you have a 6-man rotation. I know James Click and Josh Miller have already been talking about doing maybe a piggyback system. I know we talked about doing that yesterday. So what I decided to do, and Dusty Baker hasn't tipped his hand. He hasn't said anything. He said that it's on his desk and he hasn't done anything about that yet. I don't know what that means. Does that mean it's underneath his computer? Can we go ahead and sneak into his office and look under his computer? Okay,
I
it's
love that.
Javier is going to the bullpen. No, it's Garcia is going to the bullpen. Something like that. Is that what that means?
Well, when I read that, Eric, the first thing I thought of was thoughts by Dusty. That's the first thing I thought of. Dusty's like, well, it's on my desk. It's like, hold on, is it this? No, it's not that. Is it? It makes me want to take my, where is it on my desk? I love that. But here's what I like most about it, Eric, is the Astros are forward thinking. And I know there is concern. And you, as a fan, have reason to be concerned about the bullpen because it hasn't been great. It hasn't been excellent lately. And it is kind of weird. And I was texting with RP3 from 103.7 the game right as the game was ending. He goes, it is really strange how the bullpen is suddenly struggling where they've been nails all season. And because I've been telling him all along, the bullpen's going to come around. The bullpen's going to come around. I think they will eventually, Eric. But man, like a 5-1 lead, you think you got it in the bag. And the Twins both nights could have easily stolen these 2 games.
Right. And yeah, definitely. And you like Montero was a steal from the Mariners. Then all of a sudden he's not. And then Neris was a steal, and then all of a sudden he's not. And it just looks like then we have that Ryan Presley is just, he's got stiff neck and he's not available. So there's just a lot of holes in the Astros bullpen right now. And I think that has something to do with the fact that uh, Dusty Baker wants to go to a 5-man rotation. And I know I kind of said, well, maybe you're going to send somebody down AAA just to stay stretched out, but I don't think you're going to send any of these guys. These are all major league guys. This isn't a no offense, Hunter Brown. It's if Hunter Brown was in the rotation right now, he would be likely going down AAA just to stay stretched out. But then the rosters expand pretty soon anyway, so we'll see what happens. But I did some research before the game, and I want to give y'all some stats. So Luis Garcia, I don't know why I picked 11 games. I just picked 11 games. So Luis Garcia in his last 11 games is 7-3 with 63 and 1/3 innings pitched. He has 67 strikeouts, 4.55 ERA. He has a 3.64 FIP. So he's actually pitching worse than he's supposed to be pitching. So the record shows that he's doing pretty good because he has 7-3 record. So he's getting a lot of run support. Christian Javier in the last 11 games is 4-5 with 61 and 2/3 innings pitch. He has 83 strikeouts with a 2.63 ERA. His FIP is 3.65. So his ERA is a little bit lower than his FIP. Then you have Urquidy, who's 7-1 with 72 and 2/3 innings pitched with 57 strikeouts, a 2.48 ERA, 3.98 FIP. So I'm just going to go ahead and eliminate Urquidy's name there. I don't think he's going to be coming out of rotation. So let's go ahead and look at what they've done. So how many times has Garcia pitched out of bullpen? The answer is 6 games. He's pitched 13 and 1/3 innings out of bullpen with a 3.38 ERA with a 0-2 record. As a starter, he's 21 and 15 with a 3.73 ERA in 51 games. Javier, on the other hand, is 15 and 11 with a 3.31 ERA as a starter in 201 innings pitched as in 38 games. As a reliever, he's 1-0. He's 1-0 with a 3.09 ERA in 33 games as a reliever with 67 innings pitched. So he's appeared in 33 games as a reliever. Urquidy, just for fun, he's only appeared in 2 games out of the bullpen. He has 2.57 ERA in 7 innings pitched. All these guys have pitched more innings than they've appeared in games. So that means they've all been long relievers, kind of piggyback style when they've been in those games. So,
and I like our options, but remember we were talking about yesterday between, I believe it was last night, Garcia and Javier, and why Javier makes more sense, right?
Right.
Where you had one school of thought, well, he hasn't quote unquote earned his spot if you're picking who's the best. But also, if Garcia is inconsistent, you don't want to put that burden on the bullpen. If the bullpen is tired and they're struggling, a guy that's not truly consistent going to the bullpen would be more problematic and cause issues versus help things. And what I love about this team, Eric, is I don't care who they send down. I know that whatever person they do not send down, but send to the bullpen, they're going to take full responsibility of it and they're going to do their best. And that's where this team separates itself from all other teams. Not that all other teams have just all these selfish players and that's just how everybody is. But this team especially. I mean, I love when Valdez is on the mound, Luis Garcia, Jose Urquidy, Christian Javier, they all go out to the bullpen and watch him warm up. When it's Javier, these guys have a connection with each other. This bullpen, even though they're struggling, has a connection with it. When I spoke with Ryan Stanek, a month and a half ago, he was, when I was communicating with him, he was going to lunch with the relief pitchers. They hang out together. So this is very much a camaraderie driven, and they're talking. Montero's frustrated. Stanek was frustrated the other night. These guys, they're not satisfied with going out giving these subpar innings. So they're working through it mentally and together. I really think Christian Javier is going to be a key component to this playoff team,
Right.
and where he's going to have some big innings, Eric, some big strikeouts. I want to make note of one thing. Montero, when he hit that inside curveball, I think it was a curveball to Gary Sanchez on the lower inside corner. That's the kind of pitch. That's the nails pitching that Montero is able to do. I think he's a little fatigued and why he's not doing that consistently.
Yeah, and there's something going on there. So I think the answer to what's going to end up happening, I think Dusty Baker is probably going to piggyback McCullers and Javier. That's what I think is going to happen. He's used to coming out of bullpen versus Garcia and Urquidy. Urquidy is pretty good at going deep in games. Luis Garcia has been going 5 innings consistently, but I know Christian Javier can go deep in games too, but I think that at this stage, they may want to save some innings for October for him because this is probably the most he's pitched in his career. So I think you're going to see McCullers and Christian Javier piggyback. And how does this help the bullpen? Hopefully, if everything goes well, you have Lance McCullers goes 5 innings, and then you have Christian Javier go 4 innings. Then you can save the bullpen for that day.
Exactly. Now, Eric, does this change the narrative? Now, I know Hunter Brown is not on the 40-man roster, and you can go back and listen to it if you want to. You probably don't have time, but you can hear where I've not really been on the Hunter Brown train this season. Not because I don't like Hunter Brown. I love Hunter Brown. I think he deserves a shot. I think in 29 other teams, he's up in the big league club. But do you think, I think it makes more sense. Do you think it starts to make sense to make a spot for him when the roster expands to put him in the bullpen because he has been so confident and he's not wavered from that? I mean, Eric, from the beginning, he struggled a little bit out of spring training, but he has been getting better and better and better. And he's almost too new and too much of a rookie type player to realize that he's supposed to go in there and be nervous. I think he comes in with some moxie. Do you think his chances go up that he ends up on this roster before the playoffs to see what we got in him?
Yeah, I think so. I think that you're gonna. I've been saying. I think I said about maybe 2 months ago or a month ago that he's probably going to be a reliever on the playoff roster. I think that he'll be an impact reliever. I know that I thought that they'll use September to bring him up and maybe see if he can handle that role, pitching maybe not every back-to-back days, but maybe every 3 days or something like that. Maybe pitching 1 inning or so, maybe 2 innings or something. But I think at this point of the season, he's probably pitched more innings than he ever has in his career. And so they may be saying, okay, Hunter, we know you have nothing left to prove at AAA. Here's what we may do in September. We may give you a call up and we will have you come up and see what you do as a reliever. We're going to add you to the 40-man roster. We're probably going to have to add you to the 40-man roster anyway. So let's just go ahead and do that. And if you do well, we may add you to 40-man roster. If you struggle a little bit, then we'll bring up Seth Martinez, something
if
like
you
that.
struggle, you're fired, kid. No.
Yeah.
Guy Webster brings up a good thing. He says, y'all forgot Verlander and Javier piggyback. Got to preserve those innings after TJ surgery. That's not a bad option. I mean, Eric, you got to give it a little credit. I mean, that's a good thought, but also Lance McCullers has shorter time lived on, and you don't really know where. Like, I think you know where Verlander is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think the other night, Guy, and I love your point, but here's my counterpoint. Verlander got pulled with 91 pitches. He was fine with it. The club was fine with it. They know his limit. So, Verlander's not going to try to grind out 120 pitches when he knows he's got reliable people behind him. So Javier could come in not with a piggyback start, but could come in relief. But I lower this club stands. It is crazy to think that they have a better record, even by 1 win, than the 2019 team that set the record, Eric. And that speaks volumes for the consistency of the starting pitching. And this club, I think, is going to do things in the postseason that we haven't seen before. I think we're going to win games in ways that we haven't won before. It's just going to be fun. Like, I don't want it to end, but man, I cannot wait till the playoffs start. And I wanted to start tomorrow, but I guess they're not.
I don't know if I would bet on like Hunter Brown coming up and being another piggyback starter, but that would be an interesting idea. Maybe putting Javier with McCullers and then Brown with Verlander. But I wouldn't bet on that. You know who I would bet with? Bet online.
Yeah, betonline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check on all your betting needs. Find all your sports favorites, events at the number one source for odds and games. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the online resource for all your sports wagering information, from live in-game betting, scores, and podcasts. They have you covered. Head to BetOnline or use your mobile device to learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts.
All right, we have 136 people watching live. If you haven't joined one of our live broadcasts, go ahead and join us and go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Make us your first listen every day for your Astros baseball. And we're going to be here all off season, and give us a like. I guess Brett's telling us to give us a like too. But listen to us on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check us out. But we're going to be doing this during the playoffs. We're going to be doing this during
Yes.
off season. We're going to be doing this when that stupid book comes out and a stupid quote
Oh
that
my
come out.
gosh.
I don't want to address it tonight. Let's not address it tonight. Let's talk about positive stuff, and
Oh, no, that's
address,
fine.
we'll address that another time. But that's just for Gina Lunau to come out and have to say what she said about that. That was hilarious. But
Well, I will say this about the likes, because I was having a conversation with someone in Spaces last night with the Dugout guys, and I don't think you can hit the like button while we're live. Maybe you can. They were saying they were having a hard time doing it. So
you
whether
can,
you're watching, you can hit it live. Okay, I think
I
you have
think
to have
so.
an account maybe, but we really it would warm our hearts if you liked like 121 likes on one episode would be huge, because we know that you're not just listening, but you like what you're listening to. And it counters the negativity as well.
Yeah.
We will attack the whole Lunau thing later on, the whole
This
book
has
and
to
all that
do with the
stuff.
book that
Yeah.
Evan Drellick is writing.
Yeah.
Just go look up The Athletic right now. We don't
Go
want to
look
talk
up
about
our
that.
Twitter. Go look up my Twitter. Yeah, it's definitely yes, that is great, guy. I'm not going to flash it on the screen, but that is true. You
Yeah,
know, this team has Trey Mancini. Trey Mancini is going to be playing more often. Christian Vasquez, he's still kind of MIA, Eric. He's not really playing a whole lot. I know it's
that's
Framber
what I meant.
Valdez.
Yeah,
I just like, is this guy going to have the opportunity to contribute in key situations?
right.
Is Dusty going to pinch hit him late in the game for Martin Maldonado when you have a guy on second and third and one out? Or is he going to let Martin Maldonado go up there and swing away? Now, you may catch lightning in the bottle. Martin may get one of his few hits and hit the ball out of the park. But wouldn't you rather have Christian Vasquez in there?
Right.
And then he's a very good defensive replacement. So it's not like you're losing anything with the Vasquez. I want to see him more than late innings. I don't think he's a bailout guy. I think he's a starter, and he needs to start more. He needs to get the Mancini treatment and start 2 of the 3 games for the next few series. I just don't know if we're ever going to see that right now.
Hey, I've got breaking news.
Uh-oh.
The Astros actually announced a injury. They didn't say discomfort of the finger or some
What'd
type
they
of
say?
thing. I mean, we already know. You already said it, but it just occurred to me they didn't say discomfort. They that Chas McCormick left tonight's game with a dislocated right pinky finger. They were very specific about this. It's like normally it would be like a Chas McCormick left tonight's game with finger discomfort.
Finger discomfort, and yes, 10-day IL. No, it was just scary. I didn't know if it was his wrist. I didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
But did you see Chas McCormick's comments? Brian McTaggart writes a really good beat article every week, and he interviewed Chas McCormick, and Chas McCormick talked about what he's been through. And he talked about he was kind of like the kid dragging his blanket, pouting around the clubhouse because he wasn't getting playing time. And he just realized, you know what? I can't control that. All I can control is when I get on the field, I've got to perform. So Chaz has gone through some mental strengthening, which I think will be huge in the playoffs, Eric. I think Chas McCormick, you're going to see him coming alive more and more. We need to get him more on the field, but I think he's realizing it's more about the team. I mean, look, he's a pro. He wants to be out there, right? Nobody wants to ride the pine.
You remember how there's a lot of people out there thinking that maybe that Dusty Baker didn't like Chas McCormick or something? You think maybe he was like this? I would like to speak to your manager. I don't feel like I'm getting enough playing time. So maybe he was going up to Dusty Baker and being like, you know what? I don't think I'm getting enough playing time. So I doubt he was doing that. But yeah, he did say that he had to do some soul searching and realize, you know what? That the team's good. We need to do what's best for the team. The goal is to reach the World Series, and so I think that he kind of realized that what's best for the team is what's best for him. And since that time, he got a lot more playing time. You had Brantley go down, of course, and then you also had a couple more injuries to Aledmys Diaz. Aledmys Diaz was doing some running, and he's hoping to be back in a couple more weeks. But he's still on the IL. And then Chas McCormick is listed as he'll be out for a couple of days. So he's technically day to day, so to speak. But that could be a big loss because, but at the same time, I know it's not what happened, but Mancini was having a little bit trouble in that inning with in left field a little bit, but he's not known for his defense a little bit. And that's kind of led to the Twins scoring that run. But at the same time, how bad did that maybe hinder the game? I mean, it only cost them maybe one run. So his home run kind of helped the game. So I think
I would
say offense kind of trumps defense at certain times is what I was trying to get at.
Exactly. But Trey Mancini doing that. I mean, he's already got 5 home runs. He had 10 as an Oriole. Right. So, I mean, he's already got half the total he had with the Orioles for a majority of the season. It's absolutely impressive. And if the Astros don't pick up that player option, if the Astros don't keep him in an Astros uniform, because Eric, you have an opportunity to get an all-star, very good hitting, like first baseman. He can play other positions. He can DH for you at a bargain price. I mean, let's talk about these salaries that were inflated this last year and what people signed for. Mancini's not that guy. Right. And you get a very good, so you it's almost like he's underrated. It's almost like people know how good he is, but they're not like, oh, Mancini's a $35 million a year guy. Like nobody's talking about that. But what you can get him for, this guy fits perfectly in our clubhouse. Dude, he walked out. He was one of the first people out of the dugout after
not only
he almost rolled his sleeves. Yeah.
He was like, yeah,
he was ready to he was ready to go
West Side Story or
no, he was going straight freaking Brooklyn or Boston. Like he was going like knuckles, baby. But Mancini fits with this club. Right. He needs more playing time. The Astros need to sign him. Kyle Tucker needs to get signed. Holy crap. You cannot let Kyle Tucker go. He's so
16-game hitting streak. And
That's right.
He is the third player in Astros history to have two streaks of 15 or more games in the season.
That's awesome.
It was Miguel Tejada. We never really knew how old he was. And Lance Berkman. So that was pretty cool. So,
well, we knew how old Lance Berkman. I'm joking. Yes, Miguel Tejada. We don't know how old he is. Oh, hey, update. Pearland Little League. They survived tonight. They doubled up. They played a team they beat earlier, 8-3. I believe they won 6-2 or 8. I forget what the score was. They hit like 3 home runs. They look great tonight. So they live to play another day. They play on Thursday. If they win Thursday, Eric, they play Hawaii again. And Hawaii, Eric, has only allowed like 3 hits total. And the last game they hit almost 7 home runs or something like that. These kids from Hawaii are amazing. They're in the North American final. We're cheering for Pearland to get back there, and let's make it even, and let's go to that international championship, the true World Series for the Pearland Little Leaguers. Go get them, guys.
Did you see that catch that left fielder made? I think it was left fielder, right fielder, but he basically leaned over the wall. He looks like a tall dude anyway, and he basically made that catch. So that was pretty awesome in that situation. And a lot of people are asking about the option for Trey Mancini. It is a mutual option, so it's not a team option. So that means that both sides have to agree to it. So
I think if they win, I think they win it all. But even if they don't win it all, even if they go to the World Series, Like, why would you want to go somewhere else? Unless you're Vasquez and maybe your heart's like in another city like Boston or something, I could see that. But why would you want to go anywhere else?
Right.
And Eric, we haven't talked about it. Will Smith, is he going to be on this playoff roster?
I don't know. Was Mike Fiers on the playoff roster? Was Chad Qualls on the playoff roster at one point?
Was Jake Odorizzi on the playoff roster?
Yeah. So
Wow.
um, I don't know. I don't know if Dorothy is sources, but I'm not going to post that up there. But
I did not see it. I have to go
she's
back.
predicting a call up, but I don't know if she's sources or not. But I'm not going to put that up there. But that's interesting. But yeah, this is definitely that was a great game, and it was just a great situation for Framber Valdez to just keep his cool, just to see everything that could have happened in this game. And the Astros, they have the 80 wins in 125 games. This is the fastest that they've gotten to 80 wins in 125 games. So that's impressive. So they're probably on their way to win a franchise high games, or maybe, I don't know. We'll
See,
see.
I thought they were going to win like 104, 105. They could. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care if they won 105 games. I don't care if they won 110 games. I care if they win the last game of the season and clinch the World Series title. And that's where the Astros are focused. And that's what we have to realize. That's what their focus is. Their focus is
Not
nothing
no
less
hitters, right?
than the World Series. Not no hitters, not consecutive starts, not any of those things. But what was great, Eric, as he walked off the mound, we've got great fans. They knew exactly what Framber Valdez had just done, and they acknowledged it, and they gave him, credit for that.
Yeah. So about the Will Smith comment, it would be an extreme waste of talent if you traded for him. No, we just gave up Odorizzi, right? That's it.
That's it. It would not
Never mind.
be. Were you attributing extreme waste of talent with Odorizzi?
Yeah, no, I thought we gave up prospects, and I was like, wait, it was Odorizzi. Never
Well,
mind.
oh,
Never mind.
Jose, real quick, Jose Siri. There was an infield hit with the Rays. The
Uh-huh.
the Angels were up 1-0. Mike Trout had hit a deep bomb to left field, and there was an infield hit. Dude, Jose Siri was on third. It was hit to the second baseman. The second baseman threw it to home. He was already across home plate before the ball even got there. And he got up and he was all like Jose Siri, like jacked up. And all these people are like, I miss Jose Siri. And my thing is, if that dude could have just found the bat, if he could have just barreled the ball, I mean, that guy's got potential to do great things. So Jose Siri, who knows? If we play the Rays, we may see him in the playoffs.
Yeah. Jose Altuve with his 10th leadoff home run of this. I said Jose Altuve, right? Not Siri,
You
but
did, Jose Siri.
Jose Siri, Jose Altuve hit his 10th leadoff home run of the season, and that was his 31st of his career. So it's always great to see him hit the first pitch home run. And also Kyle Tucker, we already said that hit his 16-game hitting streak. And there's just so many great things that we could talk about. Alvarez, it looks like he may be heating up a little bit, and Bregman keeps on hitting the ball. So, guys, this team looks like it's getting hot at the right time. And Dusty Baker is going to make the right decision, hopefully, about the 5-man rotation, and hopefully they'll make the right decision about the bullpen. Seth Martinez will be up at some point this season. I don't know who he's going to replace because I don't know who they're going to send down, but they're paying Will Smith way too much to just DFA him or anything like that. But who knows? Maybe at some point they're like, yeah, Will Smith, it's time to send you packing. So any
I don't
closing
think they
thoughts?
d Yeah, I don't think they DFA him now. He may be the guy, he may be the casualty for Hunter Brown opening up that spot. But look, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the amazing Astros, 80 wins. Congratulations, still leading the Yankees, and I absolutely love it. I think we got great things to come. Thank y'all for hanging out with us, Locked On Astros. At the end of our day, we love watching the game and we love coming here hanging out with you. So make sure you listen to us each day, share with your friends, hit the like button, and check us out. Even when you miss us, go back and watch old episodes. Check it out. Locked On Astros. I'm H-Town Wheelhouse.
All right, and I'm Eric the Man Huysman. There you go, Brett. And you can find me at Eric Talkstros. And that's all we got for this show. Check us out tomorrow after hopefully another Astros victory against Carlos Correa and the Minnesota Twins, where he's going to play baseball forever, as he says. Go Stros.